Hey, you all, happy Saturday. Oh my God, happy, fabulous Saturday. It is September 27th, almost the 28th. Oh my God, September's almost over. I had an incredible day, and in fact, it's so incredible. I feel really good. I just thought I'm gonna go on live and read another story. But a lot of things happened today. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Tierra del Sol Gallery in Hollywood. They had a fashion show today with 8 incredible, talented artists and fashion designers. And I'm happy to say my daughter was one of the models. And I fell in love with some of the work. It's just, everyone's talented in one way or another. And even though it may not seem like it because we have this idea of what talent should look like, when you see different types of personalities and different types of creativity, it's really exciting. And to see my daughter sashay down the aisle and have her attitude, it was so much fun to see. And I bought this incredible skirt that I think I'm gonna wear next week. It reminded me of the New York art scene. And it was just so exciting to see that energy out there and to see everyone so amped up. So I just want to give a shout out to Paige Weary. Congratulations to you and to everyone who made a successful show. I think it's on, or they will be exhibiting the art or the clothes, which truly is artwork, the rest of this weekend. I think Sunday through Tuesday, something like that. Anyway, I'm sure it's selling out fast because I got 3 pieces, which was so exciting. One of them was a t-shirt by my daughter. She actually painted on a shirt, and another one was a mask that I thought was really cool, which I will definitely share with you guys sometime. It was kind of creepy, but very cool. And the skirt, which was just amazing. And that was so much fun. And then, I was so happy because I got together with some girlfriends I hadn't seen in a very long time. And we went dancing. And it was so much fun. There's a spot called Desert 5 Spot. It's in New York and Los Angeles. And obviously the one in LA is in Hollywood. And it was so much fun. I think people are joining me. You know what? Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm not wearing my glasses because I don't know. Anyway, I danced my ass off. And the crazy thing was there were like way more women than men. And guys don't really seem to ask women to dance. Why? I don't know. But that didn't seem to matter because there was like some big birthday party going on of a group of women, and they were all dancing. So I just, me and my friends, we just started dancing, and it was just so much fun. I remember one time I was in junior high, and I love to dance, and I took lessons and that whole thing. Well, one time in junior high, I was at a church youth group dance, which I was part of, and I was dancing. And, most people in high school, they just barely move like that, right? And I'm like going wild and crazy. My hair is flying all over the place. And, I'm doing pirouettes and leaps and all kinds of crazy stuff. And they actually asked me to leave. I was like 13 or 14 years old. And they said, oh, you need to leave. Like, okay, I was just, getting my groove on. But, anyway, tonight they played a song that reminded me of that. But I just had so much fun. I thought, oh, fuck them. I had a great time. And just made me think, God, I should go out dancing more often. And I thought it was interesting, when I went to Cannes last May for the film festival, I ended up going to a pop-up club. And it was very artsy and just very, just a lot of fun. And everyone danced. And it was just like, people didn't hold back. Guys asked women, women asked men, they were all interacting, and it was like sexy and fun. It was just so fascinating, people watching, because they were just so engaging. And I thought, my God, this would be a great concept for either a series of shorts, or like some sort of web series, just because there was so much personality with everyone there. When you're in that creative flow and you're feeling good and you're feeling sexy and you want to get your groove on, it feels so awesome. And I think the difference about tonight, everyone kind of like seemed much more reserved. And I got there earlier, as I left, a lot of people were coming in, so maybe I wasn't around long enough to really get that groove, and I didn't care. But it was just so interesting to notice the differences, how in Europe, people are just so much more willing to dance and be engaged, whereas tonight people just seemed much more reserved, like they didn't really want to get down. So I don't know, do you guys like to dance? Do you like to like really get down and get grooving and moving? And if you like to dance, let me know where you guys like to actually go out dancing too. This place, Desert 5 Spot, is a country nightclub. It's on the rooftop. It's really beautiful. There's like a great big swimming pool, and it has a great view. It was really awesome. So I think, I would definitely like to go again. And there's another place that we all agreed to go dancing to again. We're going to try to do the girls thing like every 3 months. So that was fun. Something else I wanted to bring up, which I thought was really interesting. A woman I know of, she was kind of saying how people are always searching for stuff, always trying to find that thing that completes them. Okay, we're all searching in life, I guess, and how no one's ever really satisfied. And it kind of really got me thinking, do you feel satisfied? Do you feel complete in this life that we have now? Or do you feel like there's always something more? And I can't help but think, of course, we're always going to want more. That's part of life, right? It's like you have these desires and these wants, and there's always going to be that yearning for something else. That's just part of the evolution, right? I mean, if you guys don't agree with me, let me know in the comments. But I just thought, we are creators, and as creators, you always want that next thing. But then I started really thinking about it. Why do we have to want anything? Can we just be in a state of being, an allowance to see what the universe does for us, as opposed to us being part of what we think we should do in the universe? It was just a really interesting thought. Maybe it's both. Anyway, if you have any comments about that, let me know. Put in the comments. Anyway, and of course, I was thinking, I wrote a new short story called Tasty, and it's pretty short. I wanted to read it because I'm contemplating if I turn this one into a short film or not. And I would love to hear your comments on it. Let me know if you think it's scary or not scary, and what your thoughts are. So it's called Tasty, and I'm going to go ahead and read it. And if you guys have a short script or a poem or something that you would like me to read live, just so you could hear it, let me know. Send me a DM or leave a comment. Okay, this one is called Tasty, and I'm gonna do it in the voice I hear it in. Okay. My mama used to say Daddy made the best moonshine ever, even though she never drank the stuff. It made him happy to hear it. Daddy and his brother, my Uncle Jimmy, sat on this here porch after making their brew on a night just like tonight. Last time I saw Uncle Jimmy, I was a baby. Mama never let anyone visit. Apparently, he invited himself, which was fine by me. See that pumpkin patch over there? For the last 20 years, Mama has won the Best Pumpkin Award at the county fair. Reminds me of the day Mama made me get baptized. Had a brand new dress and everything. I felt so pretty. Daddy didn't want to go. We returned home late, and Mama didn't want me to go outside. Did I listen? Of course not. I wanted Daddy to see me. Daddy and Uncle Jimmy were having a good old time drinking on the porch. Uncle Jimmy eyed me up and down. He picked me up as he said, "You sure do look tasty," and put me on his lap. Daddy just kept drinking. Mama's voice screamed at me to get a move on. Uncle Jimmy yelled back. Then they were all hollering at each other. Uncle Jimmy told me to meet him at the pumpkin patch so we could talk. Mama was so furious. I ran inside the house. Later that night, I saw Uncle Jimmy go into the field looking for me. I didn't want to disappoint him, so I put my dress back on and went out to find him. The full moon had this mystical orangish red color that made all the pumpkins glisten. It felt magical. Mama had always warned me not to go outside when the moon was full. I believed it to be a silly superstition meant to keep children inside. I had to find Uncle Jimmy. He was going to leave the next day. In my little white dress, I happily skipped on over to the patch. Shadows seemed to dance all around me. I wasn't scared. I knew it was Uncle Jimmy. I called out to him, but he didn't answer back. I didn't want to scream out his name because I didn't want to get in trouble. Uncle Jimmy seemed nice, and he was my only other family. Mama never let me have friends, said we were too poor to socialize. With the money she won from the pumpkin contest, she bought my baptismal outfit. It meant so much to her. Daddy thought it was dumb and didn't make sense. He always said everything she did was stupid. I whispered Uncle Jimmy's name as loud as I could, hoping he'd hear me. Only he didn't. Normally, I would hear critters making their noises, especially around midnight when they were the loudest. But that night, I don't remember hearing nothing. I knew he was there. I saw him. Every step I took made such loud noises. I even made myself jump. Then I saw Daddy's moonshine jug before me. He always kept it with him, so I couldn't help but wonder what he was doing. I confess, I picked it up and took a swig. Ew, oh, disgusting. I spit it out as soon as it touched my lips. I must have said something out loud. Next thing I knew, I was thrown down on the ground. My head landed on a pumpkin and smashed it. Pumpkin seeds got all tangled up in my hair, and I didn't even realize it. I still don't know how I got thrown down like that. When I came to, all I could think of was how mad Mama was gonna be that my expensive new dress got dirty. My eyes had a hard time focusing in the dark. Everything was so surreal. I felt like I wasn't part of my body. The moon demanded my attention. Somehow, it let me know that everything was okay. My head sure did hurt. So did all of me, inside and out. A howling pierced the sky. That's when I realized I was the one howling. Then another one, followed by an excruciating scream. My body twisted and contorted. The next thing I knew, the morning sun nudged me awake. A sticky sensation of dried blood covered my naked body. My legs didn't want to move. I managed to sit up. There before me, half of Uncle Jimmy's head stared at me. The other half partially emerged from the dirt. His various body parts were scattered all around me. I thought I was seeing double when I saw 4 legs instead of 2. Underneath one leg, Daddy's face peeked out. His left ear was missing. I don't know how I felt at that moment. Mama wrapped a blanket around me, helping me up. "Are you mad?" I asked, in a voice I wasn't even sure was mine. She didn't say nothing. That's when I saw the blood clumped in her hair with what appeared to be Daddy's ear. Mama didn't expect me to be initiated so soon. The women in our family are 18 when they transition into werewolves. I was 10 at the time. Want to know the secret to Mama's winning at the fair all the time? Decomposing bodies. I don't know the exact count Mama has, but I put at least 12 bodies in the patch myself. Makes for tastier pumpkins. So that's the end of that short story. I actually had a lot of fun writing that one. And I thought, could I make this into a short? And I was kind of like just thinking, a short script for a short film. And I thought, well, I wanted to read it out loud, see what it sounded like. So thank you guys for letting me read it. If you have any comments about it, I would love to hear it. I think it's scary. I don't know. Do you guys think it's scary? Let me know what you think. I would appreciate it. And if you don't, that's all right. That's fine too. Hey, that's all right. But I was thinking it could be fun to kind of maybe shoot it with some flashbacks, like the woman talking, and I don't know. I need to figure it out. But like I said, I had a lot of fun writing that one. It's just so much fun, coming up with these short stories and seeing if I can create them into something else. What was wild, coming back from Hollywood tonight, the Hollywood Bowl was letting loose, and there were just like so many people, like floods of people. And I was just thinking, wow, everyone has a story. And I thought, wouldn't it be wild if everyone could share their story? Would that be too overwhelming? Would that be too boring? Would that be too confusing? What would that look like? And I just thought, wouldn't it be interesting if, we could just like freeze time for a moment and just know what that person's story was. And of course, I just started thinking, oh, that could make for a really interesting sci-fi movie. And I thought, well, the way AI is moving along so fast right now, it seems like maybe AI already knows our story. So I was just kind of thinking about that. And then I thought, well, that could be a really interesting horror movie too. I mean, we've seen a lot of AI movies that are kind of scary. Anyway, there's another horror short I wrote. This was a while ago that I thought, that could also make an interesting short film too. So I'm going to go ahead and read that one out loud also, because I kind of have fun doing this. And if you guys want to leave a comment and let me know what you think, I would definitely greatly appreciate that. So, okay, so Tasty was the one I just read, and I have a folder of short stories, and I thought I'd have it out, but I didn't because I was working on something else. This is for a short film that I'm actually working on. That's something else. See, I have a lot of stuff going on. Where are my short stories? Bear with me, guys. I printed them out so I could have it ready. Oh, here it is. And it's, the crazy thing about doing short films is you kind of always really need to depend on other people. And sometimes depending on other people can be challenging, especially when you have a certain vision in your mind, and it's like they all have different visions in their mind too. So when you see a movie get made, any movie, whether it's a short or a feature, is kind of really cool. Oh wow, what is this? Unlock. I'm getting all kinds of little messages here, which is interesting. I think, I don't know. This is still all kind of new to me, so I'm just going along with it. Anyway, if you guys are still with me, I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and read a second one because I was thinking too, based on these stuffs, I'm recording them. And it's really cool to go back and hear myself because it's kind of like, okay, I get really judgmental, but whatever. I thought, wow, wouldn't it be interesting to be able to create a short based on these lives? So I had an idea that I think I'm going to try out on you guys. And so if you see me start acting and going off into like a different character mode, it's because I'm working on that. So just forewarning, I don't know when I'm going to do that, but it was an idea that came to mind. And so I think I'm going to do that. All right. I think I want to read, I really want to read that horror story because it's Halloween season. I actually have Blitzed. It's kind of a comedy, and it's a little bit longer. Wow. It's all right. I'm gonna read Blitzed because I think we all kind of need comedies every once in a while. So yeah, I will mix it up because why not? I will definitely get to more horror later. But this was called Blitzed or Galactic Love Logistics. All right, let's see how it goes. And again, your comments are much, much, much appreciated. So, okay. The Wi-Fi password changed itself every 3 minutes. Annoyed, Abigail shouted, "How in the world am I supposed to ever meet the love of my life if the password is constantly changing?" Sure enough, her mother echoed her wisdom from a distance, then confirmed it when Abigail's thumb lit up and she was able to read Crazy Squirrel Dance at 2:30 on the palm of her hand. Abigail imagined them to be like a pack of earthly wolves as they were able to read her mind, even when they weren't with her. She, she blamed it on their extensive intergalactic travel, which they did since the day she was born. Her family's mission took them to 5 galaxies and over 24 planets, helping and studying various species and cultures. Giebler-Gox carried that responsibility for millennia. Her room, in typical Giebler-Gox fashion, was an interstellar collage of those travels, along with a plethora of photos of potential mates. Finding love was now her mission in life before anything else. Abigail believed the possibility of a profound, passionate love was obtainable online, waiting to be discovered. Her parents were techies, yet she still never liked to upgrade anything. They still couldn't figure out why the password had to be changed so often. Low priority on the to-do list. In the interim, they all went with it, which Abigail found truly exhausting, and Giebler-Gox were never supposed to tire. They settled on the planet of Nibelnax, or Nib for short, which was like the grand central station of the galaxy. Blitzed, the trendy dating site, promised love, taking all Nibeliaxians by storm. It offered access to a vast variety of potential prospects across the galaxy and found its way onto Abigail's rather archaic laptop. Love struck Abigail only once before, when she was a freshman in college. On Abigail's 166th birthday, which was still young adulthood in her mind, true love was her only missing ingredient for the perfect life. Her parents were still in love after 1,000 years. She aspired to have the same kind of love, if not more passionate and more loving and more amazing. Her first week at school, Abigail fell hard for her galactic history professor, who was a tall, lean, and green with scaly arms and legs. Students accused him of being a reptilian. Well, duh, of course he was, but you didn't call someone reptilian. Such behavior was rude and degrading. They preferred to be called raptors. Abigail believed in always possessing a certain grace and decorum. College, however, threw both out the window. Life, as she soon came to realize, was a free-for-all. Her wavy dark blue hair and piercing oblong cobalt eyes, subtle, was never in Abigail's vocabulary. Right away, she professed her desires to her professor and suggested he be her boyfriend. Her motto was, and still is, to be straight to the point and not waste any time. The professor was flattered and stated he was married with a family of his own. He encouraged her to meet other students. Abigail appreciated his honesty and attempted to disregard her aching heart. He did promise to be her friend, only she didn't want to be friends. She wanted love. Abigail failed his class. She didn't care. She stopped going altogether and started helping her father with his quantum computer work, which she found, as always, exasperating. Getting a job was an option, especially since the galactic portal system was more efficient than ever. Like with the Wi-Fi password, its location changed every 3 minutes. She had to remember to do the whole setup time thing, which required reciting an intricate mathematical equation. Numbers, which were an integral part of travel, didn't always make sense to her. Her mathematically inclined genius of a father, concerned by her chronic forgetfulness, tattooed the travel equation on the inside of her arm when she turned 100. It indeed made her life much easier to navigate when she remembered to use it. An eternal optimist, Abigail sat at her desk in her small circular room, slowly spitting with a 360-degree view of the vast yet dense city below her. She was making up several photos of men she had dated, both human and otherwise. Within the last month, she had gone on 20 miserable dates. and 4 within the last 4 days, or last 2 days. One was married, one was allergic to her hair, another wanted dozens of children. The last one was unemployed looking for a free ride, which she wouldn't have had a problem with if it wasn't for his overall horrific hygiene. The typical age to be married was 150. Abigail was already 16 years behind. Was having children something she wanted? The question consumed her thoughts on several occasions. It broke her heart that mixed galactic children were always picked on. She thought they were the most beautiful, and resolved she was not going to marry another Giebler-Glock, and did not care if she was the 14th generation. Enough with the blue already, she would say with a flare of drama and exasperation. Purple was a color she wanted as a skin tone. She imagined every shade and promised herself her baby's father would not be blue. Suddenly, Abigail's left pinky lit up, indicating a new Blitzed text message, which she read on her inner palm. I'm Fred. Want to meet for coffee? Without hesitation, her thoughts typed back in response. Yes, coffee. Abigail had read stories of how people centuries ago would meet for coffee on dates. Coffee beans were outlawed in Nib and were considered a Schedule I controlled substance for Giebler-Glocks. Something about the liquefied bean caused their bodily functions to nearly stop, and they would be in a comatose state while experiencing an incredible high. The adventure did sound appealing. It occurred to Abigail that she had no idea what Fred looked like. Never turned down a date, her father taught her since she was little. That extra special one is waiting somewhere for you, her mother would add in with her telepathic thoughts. Abigail was always open to meeting new people. At the same time, her jump first, look later trait often got her into trouble. What's the password? She muttered to herself more than to her parents. Added 1 to Crazy Dancing Squirrel and 230. Her mother responded in her head. Okay, thanks. You can exit my brain now, Abigail replied. Typing it in, she clicked on Fred's photo. Abigail sighed. The image she concocted in her head didn't quite jive with the image she saw on screen. He sent another message before she finished sighing. Fred's intelligence and thoughtful articulation were like golden nuggets which made her giddy. Hours passed as they exchanged messages like rapid fire. They agreed to meet at Kybalion, an underground speakeasy, which was all the rage on the planet Flubian, 1,200 light years away, with a reputation for the best coffee drinks in the entire universe. Finding the right portal was a challenge. The equation tattoo on her arm had to be recited with the right intonation and vibrational frequency. Abigail had a slight lisp, which made it difficult to pronounce properly. More than once, she ended up in a different place than she intended. I'll arrive at my destination sooner or later, she reasoned. Putting on her favorite perfume, Abigail created her portal. A golden blaze circle opened before her. She crossed her fingers as she stepped within it and instantly disappeared with the frequency of her words lingering behind her as the circle closed. A moment later, the golden circle opened up and Abigail stepped out at the exact same moment Fred did. They were both at the front door of the cozy cafe, face to face, their eyes instantly connected. Wowza, escaped Abigail's blue lips. From first sight, Abigail recognized him to be Hemberloftian, descendants of the Vikings. He resembled a Greek god, and she began to drool. Fred, she shrieked. He was so much better looking in person than in his photo, where she thought he kind of looked like a potato head. He smiled with his lips closed. The shape of his luscious, heart-shaped lips made her want to kiss him. Down, girl, she told herself. She was palpitating from head to toe. Fred opened the door for her. Inside, they were greeted by a Semiletian hostess, a unique and rare species with 5 eyes and telepathic abilities. Abigail was still developing. Gliding toward their table, Fred's feet were 3 times the size of hers and not touching the floor. Hers weren't touching either. How fabulous, she thought. Part of the Kabbalion, everyone floated 3 inches off the ground, not knowing how or why. Abigail marveled in it. The place was not yet packed. Which Abigail appreciated, topics of conversation swirled in her mind as she kept reminding herself to play it cool, chill, relax, let him ask the questions. Pitter patter, pitter patter. Her heart would not shut up. He pulled out a chair for her. Ooh, the strong, silent type, she screamed on the inside. So glad you reached out, Fred. So pleased to meet you. He stared at her, smiling. How are you? His smile grew somewhat bigger. What would you like to talk about? A magnetic pull came from Fred, causing her to want to lean in closer. Yet he didn't move. You have a beautiful smile, she said with a grin. Silence. Abigail's mind raced. Why wasn't he talking? He corresponded to her in her language. They bantered back and forth online. His body was gorgeous while exuding an aura of higher wisdom and intelligence. She was beyond infatuated, yet when he sat there, he was like one of those self-assembled robots in a box. Her thoughts raced. Her expression never changed. What's going on? Scoping the area, she wondered if she was being pranked. Was a camera hidden somewhere? A server approached them with a pot of hot coffee. He or she or it appeared to be a mixed species, which Abigail adored. Right away, she recognized the Semiletian part, but didn't recognize the other parts. With one of his golden red tentacles, he, she, or it served them each a hot, steaming cup of coffee. Abigail was going to indulge, regardless if it meant she were going to become comatose. The new experience excited her. She thanked the server while Fred remained silent. I've never had coffee before, she confessed, with a tinge of nervousness in her voice. Holding the prohibited liquid substance to her lips, a severe quake shook the entire room. The entire building tilted to the side, causing her to spill her coffee all over Fred. Not a single sound came out of him. He wrapped his massive lumberjack-type arms around her, protecting her as they rolled across the room, suspended 3 inches off the floor. Continuously rolling, their eyes locked, making it as if time itself ceased to exist. His smile lit up her entire being. An inner knowingness assured her he was the one. Granted, it annoyed her Fred didn't speak, but her soul connected with his. His mere touch assured her he was everything she needed and wanted. The building rocked to the other side. The server used its tentacles to stay anchored to the floor. Coffee spilled everywhere, and somehow euphoria engulfed Abigail. They stopped moving for a moment, A tattoo on his arm, identical to hers, caught her attention. Synchronicity, she whispered. Fred pushed Abigail's hair away from her lips and pressed his lips against hers. She quivered as they kissed. All of her molecular cells were raring to go. And with one kiss, they shared a lifetime. An odd sensation came over her. Waves of exuberant energies connected her to him and him to her. How was it possible they share this incredible organic energy exchange? You must marry one of your own, her father's words echoed in her brain. That's the only way to experience absolute love, her mother chimed in. Their sentiments made Abigail's brain hurt. The generational rule was if she didn't obey, she would be cast out of the family. The more she thought about it, especially being in Fred's arms, she didn't care for rules. Marrying Fred would not be acceptable to her family. Abigail concluded if it came down to it, she would cast herself out first, thereby denying them the opportunity. Abigail did not want to be told what to do, and now, in this beautiful human-like man's arms, an overwhelming sensation confirmed he would never tell her what to do. It didn't matter to her that he communicated by touch instead of language. She actually preferred it. Another massive quake caused the building to tilt in the opposite direction, which had them rolling toward the other side. They wouldn't stop staring at each other. Coming to an abrupt stop, he shielded her from hitting the edge of the counter. The thought of her possibly dreaming their encounter entered her mind. Putting her hand on his chest, she had to confirm he had a heartbeat and wasn't some weird avatar toying with her. Sure enough, the vibrations of his thumpity heartbeat assured her he was indeed alive and real, and every touch gave her more information about him. The speakeasy was in shambles when the quakes finally stopped. Fred helped Abigail stand, and they took their seats at their table. All his thoughts revealed themselves to her with his touch, which excited her all the more. The server, apologetic for the inconvenience of the planetary convulsions, offered them coffee at half price. Fred turned toward the server and put his hand on its tentacle. Kind of you to say, sir, the server responded as it winked at Abigail. We'll bring the coffee right out. Abigail gazed upon Fred. His enormous orbs for eyes created a world, causing her heart to burst with inspiration and desires. Coffee no longer appealed to her. Let's go, she volunteered. She lifted her sleeve and showed him her tattoo of the same mathematical equation also on his arm. Her fingers outlined his tattoo. Mesmerized, she took hold of his hand and created a portal, surprisingly, without a lisp. The golden ring opened, and together they stepped through it. First place they went was to Abigail's parents. In her heart, Abigail was already with Fred. Her parents, however, were confused by Fred, and of course did not want Abigail to marry him, especially since they just met. Abigail's father, however, was intrigued by the surge of energy they had when they were close together versus when they were separated. Together, the Wi-Fi bars were maxed out and the Wi-Fi password didn't kick out, whatever they had. Her father wanted to study it. The universe guided them to be together, and with their powerful connection, infinite possibilities awaited. They were married that night. Fred, however, was unable to articulate the words "I do" during the ceremony. The officiator, understanding the situation, laid his hands upon him and affirmed Fred's intentions. Abigail's parents bore witness, along with a few friends and family members. Everyone except Abigail's father insisted their union would never work. Centuries zoomed by. Fred loved and adored Abigail all the more without ever speaking a word. They gave each other all they ever wanted, unconditional love. How am I so sure of this? Well, I am a product of their union, half Giebelglock and half Hemberfloftian. I have my mom's blue hair, my dad's orb-like eyes, and a violet skin tone my mother always reminds me of she was blatantly envious of. My parents' union has withheld the test of time. Even with all these crazy time portals, timeline shifts, and collapses, I can honestly say, as their only child, my parents are happy. Was it because my dad didn't speak and only communicate with my mom when he touched her? Or was it because she never had to change the internet password again? I hope to experience a love like theirs. The best part? They never listened to the naysayers. 1,111 years later, they've been blissfully wed and proved them all wrong. Seems like they had the last laugh, after all. All right, that's more like my young adult sci-fi book story. After reading that, I'm like, okay, there are a few things I need to work on, but I think it's kind of a sweet story. Yeah, it needs to be tweaked, but it's fun. Anyway, all right, thanks guys for listening. I appreciate it. You know, I have a stack of short story folders, and I think because Halloween season, we are officially in Halloween season, I'm going to just start reading some of them because I think a few of them I do want to get out into the open and start making short films. And if you guys are interested in short films, let me know. Send me a DM or yeah, leave a comment. I appreciate that. So speaking of films, The Wrecker is an action movie. The Wrecker is an action movie I wrote with Nico Foster. And it's going to hit theaters October 31st. Yes, I'm like super excited. Like, yes, mind-blowing excited about it. It is high octane. There are some like really intense fight scenes there. It's going to be in theaters on Halloween, October 31st. Oh my God, it's 2025. And yes, please go see it. And if you are in Los Angeles and you want tickets to a red carpet screening on the 23rd of October, let me know. You have to send me a message and I will do my best to get you in there. But you have to be in Los Angeles, okay? And that's going to be in Hollywood. Hollywood, or Hollyweird, as a lot of people like to say. And I'm very excited about that. I'm really hoping for a great response because we have written a sequel that I feel is even juicier than the first one. And we have plans for it to be in 3 parts. But we have to get through the first one. And I really hope it's a hit. Harvey Keitel is in it. I mean, I first saw Harvey Keitel in Reservoir Dogs, which was a very violent Quentin Tarantino film, which was actually kind of really good. I mean, okay, I love action movies. Why? I don't know. I love that adrenaline rush, especially when you have a good story that goes with it. So The Wrecker, October 31st, stars Harvey Keitel, Tyrese Gibson, Mina Suvari, love her. She's so amazing. Chad Michael Collins, he's also in the TV series Snipers, which you can see right now. And we also have Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo, love you. He is, I believe he's here in LA, and I really hope he gets to the red carpet premiere. And he has, Trejo tacos, love them. Anyway, let me know if you're going to be around, because if I can get you there, I totally will, because it would be so awesome to see who you guys are. Oh my God, thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Okay, so it is now 12:40 and my phone is about to die. That's what I get for not charging it. But I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. I was thinking, what movie is out right now that would be worth going to go see? I think there's a Leonardo DiCaprio movie out, but I saw the trailer for it. And I was like, I wasn't too crazy about it. Seems like there are a lot of horror films. The new Jordan Peele movie, Him, is out. The trailer looked really creepy. Now, what I heard about that movie was it's actually based on Disclosure. That was kind of interesting. So have you guys seen Him yet? The Jordan Peele movie? I don't know. I can't see anything without my glasses. So, well, if you have not seen Him, I heard it kind of sucks. But if you have seen it, I would love to hear your opinion. I'm debating if I want to go see it. I kind of do, because I hear it's like a different take on horror. Oh, I did hear there's a lot of gore, which I'm not too crazy about, which is ironic because I wrote a script that has a lot of gore. I wrote the script and I had this attorney read it, and he got so sick by my descriptions, he threw up. And I thought, okay, that was pretty disgusting, which I guess is good because that's, there is a niche for gore horror. It's funny, I can write it, but I can't watch it, which is really weird, I guess. Anyway, I also found out Unicorn Diaries. Unicorn Diaries is a movie I'm in. It's Kate Kaplan directed it. Kate Kaplan is a wonderful director, and she used to be the world champion ballroom dancer, which I thought was really cool. She's a wonderful director, and in that movie, Unicorn Diaries, I play the mom. And I'm the very cool, loving, very accepting mom, which I thought was kind of cool. Because I am a very cool, loving, accepting mom because I have a kid. Anyway, so that will hopefully come out at the beginning of next year. Probably will be streaming. It's so definitely keep an eye out for it. Unicorn Diaries, and yeah, it's a kind of a crazy roller coaster kind of ride. Definitely adult oriented. I wouldn't share it to my kids, no. But it's a fun rom-com type movie. And Paralysis is a horror movie I also wrote with Nico Foster, and Louis Mandylor directed that. Louis Mandylor has done a series of action movies as a director and an actor. He's done so many. Oh my gosh, you check out his IMDb page and he's like constantly working. And I think he's probably best well known for My Big Fat Greek Wedding. So that was really great to work with him. Now, see, what the crazy thing about that movie, I mean, being one of the writers, Nico and I wrote it together, and we came up with the story together. And I wrote myself a scene for the movie as a doctor. And I thought I wrote like a pretty darn good scene. And what's so interesting, when scripts go into production, so many other people kind of put their input into it. And so I saw a rough cut of it, and that scene was cut out. And I was like really not happy. I was kind of like really pissed off about it. But I'm like, okay, I'm not the director. I'm not the editor. It's like I have no control over it. Kind of pissed me off though. But it's like you gotta let things go. But it's just, again, it's just so crazy when you write something down, even like, from a story to script, so many things change. And I think one of the hardest things as a writer is to really allow it to change, not be in that state of holding on to anything so tightly, which got me thinking, oh my goodness, that's kind of life. You can't hold on to anything. You experience it. You experience the beauty of life in the moment. And you can't hold on to any of it. You can have the memory of it, but you have to really just be in the flow of it all, because it's going to pass. And hopefully something beautiful comes of it. And if not, there's going to be a time where it will come back. It's just this whole life thing, kind of like, like today, it's like, it was really quite the day in my daughter's fashion show, and to see everyone so excited and with their makeup and hair and incredible design, and then going out dancing, a whole different shift of energy. And Hollywood has its own kind of energy. So it was very exciting, and I really wanted to read this story. So thank you so much for joining me and being a part of it. I appreciate it. So if there is anything you want to say, well, hi, thank you, first time here. I'm so glad you are. I appreciate it. I'm kind of new to this too. It's kind of exciting. It's like getting out there and meeting people. So I am Sophia. I am a writer and an actor and a filmmaker, and I'm in Los Angeles. And if you guys are in LA, let me know, because, see, this means my time is up. I get this little beeper thingy saying, hey, your time's up. So it's so crazy, all these pop-ups. But if you are in LA, follow me, DM me, let me know, and I can see about getting tickets to the red carpet screening, which means you get all dolled up and dressed up and have so much fun. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. It looks like I'm going to be shut off soon. They have me set these goals, and I don't quite understand them, but I did not hit a goal. So if I hit a goal, like within the next couple of minutes, awesome. I will sing, I will dance. Well, I've been dancing all night. I was dancing in cowboy boots too, which was a lot of fun. But God, you gotta dance. You got to dance. So anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So yeah, if I will try to come back live tomorrow night. I have to work on a script, so I'll probably be really working diligently and hard. And I'm trying to get a book signing together for a woman who wrote Much Too Vulgar. It's a horror book. It's on Amazon online. Viggy see, I need to get my nails done. Viggy Parhampton, wonderful book. Check it out online. Anyway, all right. Thank you guys for your time and your awesomeness, and feel free to message anytime. And if you're in LA, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. But I will try to come back again tomorrow. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate you. Mwah, 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 mwah. All right. Have a good night.